Okay, checking out Inner's set dungeon today. To find Inner's set dungeon, make sure you're wearing a piece Inner's set. You can do this by wearing these 5 pieces I've got here. And then with the Ring of Royal Grandeur in the cube, typically Season 16. If you are running this in Season 16, you don't need the Ring of Royal Grandeur in the cube. Okay, so to find it, head to the hidden camp in Act 2. Go down to the Caldeum Bazaar. Mind that you're out of town now, so there is some mobs here. And head to the Flooded Causeway. So, in the Flooded Causeway, as you take the right this way, you will see the set dungeon come up here. The Inners. So, one thing about this dungeon is you've really got to gimp your damage. So let's go through and do it. So, Dungeon of Inner's Mantra. Unleash your mystic allies on 10 enemies within 10 yards 5 times. And do not get frozen for the duration of the dungeon. Sounds pretty basic, but if you've got too much damage, you'll kill the stuff before you can group it. So, even now, like you can see, I can kill stuff quite easily. So once I've got 10 in there, you can see I can hit my allies. Kill them now. Because I have given my damage so much, you can see here I can actually take a little while. Now there isn't 10 there, so I'm not going to bother too much. Do I have 10 here? Probably not. If I get these guys to come in, maybe. Yes, just got 10 in there. So that's 2 of the ready. Now here I should be able to get 10. Oh, only 9 were in that 10 yards. Now there is plenty of opportunity, so one fail like that shouldn't cause a problem. Oh. God. Go here. Oh, that doesn't look like 10. Damn it. Oh. Gotta not leave enemies behind, otherwise you have to run back at the end. Use these elites to build up your spirit again. Handy. Smaller mobs like this to do simply. It looks like we could get a 10 here. Yep, pull everything in, then hit 18. So like sometimes it feels like it should, and sometimes you get heaps. I think I need to go do this loop over to the right hand side. Could get 10 here potentially. Oh, only 6 around the 10 yards. Why is that Mystic Ally not fighting at all? Okay, that's that loop done. Okay, there. Now up here it looks like I really should, yes, get enough. That's 4. Only got 1 more to go. Looks like here. Oh, no. No go. I did too much damage. See there, since stuff dies too quickly, I've got a problem. Yes, okay. That was my last 10, so now that doesn't matter anymore. About killing everything else on the map. Which is now where damage would come in handy, but fortunately, I've got to give myself. So. See, there's lots more mobs here. I could have easily got a 10 here. See, that would have been a 10. So, there is at least plenty of opportunities. Let's get this mob back here so I don't accidentally leave him. Oh, there's one up there on that bridge too. Oh, how I missed him first. He's gone now. We've only got 6 mobs left. Go. It cannot be done. 1 mob left to go, please. Yes, be in the corner. Good. Okay. That's mastery complete. Okay. So I'll go through my build and you'll be able to see how much I've had to gimp my damage to be able to play this dungeon. And the key thing is when I'm cyclones tracking them in, or when I'm first getting them, they're not all dying before I can hit my mystic allies with get that 10 within 10 yards. Okay. So here's my gear. Pretty much running with almost a Z monk. Here with just a couple of extra pieces. So inners, you need 6 pieces. As I say, you could wear 5 and have Ring of Royal Grandeur in the cube is probably what I recommend. So these are set up for Z monks. So you see there, Dex, Fit, Resist All, Health Globes, belt, Dex, Fit, Resist All, Percent Life, pants, Dex, Fit, Resist All, gloves, Dex, Fit, Attack Speed, Cooldown. So, you know, going for survivability stats, not damage stats, you don't want damage. Boots, you don't wear inners boots for a Z monk, so I've just had to roll some of those. Again, just survivability stats is what you want on those. Okay. Other things, again, I've mainly just used Z monk style items. Leoric's crown. I mean, you'd love some percent life on there instead of the dex or something, but importantly, you do want to wear Leoric's because you do want that cooldown, which is what's helpful about my Z monk gear. It's mainly got cooldown on it, which is useful for this dungeon. Shoulders, also, again, left for the soliloquy. I mean, it's helpful survivability, but have the cooldown on those. Other items, spirit guards, handy, better than something like, so for the Z monk, you'd also have your strong arms. You don't want more damage typically, so going for the spirit guards there is beneficial, preferably without any crit chance on them, throwing those on without rolling them. Okay, my jewelry here is all my Z monk jewelry. So Hellfire Amulet there has got near death on it, but you can see there it's got the cooldown on it. Health Globe, so it's from my Z monk. Obsidian Ring is really important to use because it's got the cooldown on it. So all cooldown helps. Yeah, use an Obsidian Ring. I've just left my Oculus Ring on from my Z monk, but you don't really need that. You could wear any ring there, but preferably not a damage ring. Okay, what have I missed? Weapons, I think. Okay, so weapons, I did use my Z monk weapons initially, and this is my Z monk Slanderer here. But I found I was still doing too much damage, so I actually switched out my Z monk's little rogue, which still has damage on it, and I rolled off the damage on a weapon to try and reduce my damage further. So if you're running too much damage, if things are dying too quickly, roll off damage on a weapon. I finally got to the point I needed to be by doing that. So this little rogue has its damage roll off to reduce my damage just for this set dungeon. It's not even my Z monk one. Okay, legendary gems. So I'm wearing the esoteric there. Survivability, again, no damage. What I use on my Z monk anyway. You do want to use a Gogok of Swiftness for this set dungeon because it gives you cooldown, attack speed, but mainly cooldown is what you care about. And for another legendary gem, I just threw in there a Molten Wildebeest Gizzard simply because it doesn't give me any damage. So I was looking for a legendary gem that would not boost my damage, so that's what I came up with. Okay. Cube. So in the cube, I'm running Ingeum, more cooldown. Cooldown is important. I think I've said that about 5 times. Ice Climbers. So Ice Climbers just make the second part of this dungeon super simple because you are not allowed to get frozen. So you can actually plan to like dodge the frozen and that's fine. Or you can just throw on some Ice Climbers and you should have space for that because you don't want damage and stuff. So I've used the Ice Climbers there in my cube. And I do have Band of Rude Chambers here in my cube, just because Spirit is handy. Make sure I've got the Spirit up for the Cyclone Strikes, but as I say, if I was not doing this in Season 16, if I was doing this more generally, I would have the Ring of Royal Grandeur there, because I don't want to use that in as weapon. It was way too much damage. I tried it. So there you go. That's what I'm running in the cube. Also, again, Paragon, my damage is gimped in here as well. I'm running just as I would with my Z Monk, so no area damage in there. These I've got the points in, but I mean, I could, if I needed to get my damage more, I could take some of these offense out. But importantly, no Paragon in Dexterity, all of it in Vitality, because otherwise you do too much damage. Okay, got to do skills still. I'll have to do that in town. Because it won't let me change skills in a set dungeon. Okay, so skills. I'm running Brave of the 100 Fist Simulation, just some kind of spirit generator here. And do some damage, does help though to kill them at the end. Cyclone Strike Implosion, really important to pull those mobs in to get them into that 10-yard radius. So typically through the dungeon, like when you see a big mob, you're using Dashing Strike to dash into it, Cyclone Strike to pull them in, and then hitting your Mystic Ally. You really need to do it in that order. Make sure your Mystic Ally is there off cooldown. Epiphany, Desert Shroud. I barely touched it. If you need more survivability, it helps. In a Sank, I didn't touch it, right? It's just an extra skill slot, but I didn't want anything there that accidentally did damage. So in a Sank, Temple of Protection is there, but I didn't use it. So the key skills really are the Cyclone Strike Implosion, Mystic Ally, just got Earth Ally, but it doesn't matter. You should get all of them, I think, from the set. Either way, I'm running Earth Ally. Dashing Strike, Wave the Falling Star. There, just for that extra movement speed. Movement speed helps if you're running around the end of this set dungeon trying to find the last mob, and then something to kill them with damage and generate your spirit. Okay, passives. So I do have near-death experience on my amulet because it's my Z-Monk amulet, but you don't really need that. It's just what I was using. The important passives here are some attack speed, which I've got here with Alacrity and Seize the Initiative. Attack speed's handy. Beacon of Atar, crucial for cooldown, and Fleet-footed, which is your movement speed. So extra movement speed, extra cooldown is really your big aim for that dungeon. Okay, so I've done skills, gear, Paragon, cube. I think that's it. So that's inner set dungeon complete, mastered. Hope this helps. Thank you very much for watching, and GG.